right, everybody. Welcome back to the Dane Wayne Show.
Episode number 7, Wayne.
Episode 7.
Nice.
Lucky number 7.
I know. I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling good. How are you feeling this evening?
Excited about the Phillies starting. We're on the cusp of October baseball.
I know. We've been talking about that for quite some time, and I feel like we're finally here.
Yep.
So that is exciting.
As of this recording, we don't know who they're going to play yet.
The Mets and the Brewers are still in a nothing game. I think it's the bottom of the 5th inning right now. So
we'll see.
We'll have some reviews on what happened and what we think may happen moving forward. So
yeah, but I guess we have to kind of flush the Eagles' loss, get all the negativity out of our system.
The Eagles lost?
Yeah, I know. Most of us want to forget about it.
Oh wow.
Most of us want to forget, but let's flush that real quick before we get to the Phillies.
So, if we could describe Sunday, what would some of the words that we would use to describe Sunday?
Word, like one word?
No, because there's not one word with what we've heard this week around the city, and then just anywhere you go. Like how do you?
It felt like more of the same again. Like it felt like last year again down the stretch where the defense couldn't stop anything. And, you had a bright spot against the Saints with the defense. You thought Fangio, okay, maybe he turned the corner and figured some things out. And then you realize it was an aberration because, the Saints tried to play him straight up. They tried to play.
They did.
And Carr held the ball and tried to throw his receivers open or whatever, and it didn't really work. Whereas the Bucs, they just got the ball out of Baker's hands as fast as possible.
It was 1-2. It was, I think, like 0.1 second or a second and a half, and the ball was out.
Yep.
And our defense, the corners, the middle of the defense, Wayne, was, I guess, just embarrassing, terrible. There was, I think I counted, I'm gonna be nice and say 10 missed tackles. I think I'm being nice
in the first quarter.
You see, I was trying to be nice, but it was all across the board. Avonte Maddox, Slay, who decided he wanted to be a social media fan this week. I don't know, man. It was embarrassing up and down on the defense, and then the coach just looked lost. Sirianni looked like. When in the meat of the game when it was going on, because I think it was 2 minutes left to go in the second quarter, and the Eagles had was it 7 yards or 8 yards? I think it was some silly number where you just looked at it and you're like, is this real? Like, am I really watching this? Like, no walking down to the corners, no switching up the coverages. Like, what did you see?
No, exactly. There was really no change at all. There's no adjustment. They came into the game with a game plan, and it didn't work, and then they didn't really change anything.
They didn't adjust anything.
It was just off coverage the whole time. Baker knew exactly where to throw the ball every time. He just picked them apart because they were playing off coverage. They were trying to limit the big play, and it was just atrocious as far as the defense went. And I said this a couple weeks ago after the Falcons game, is that I want an aggressive
defensive coordinator and a defensive mindset,
because I would much rather give up a big play
than
the dink and dunk. Because somebody made a good point about this. I think it was Brandon Lee Gowton made a good point about this after the game. He said, "Where is all your money being spent? On the Eagles, on the offense.
It is. Okay, it is.
You got $100+ million on the offensive side. Okay, so why wouldn't you want them out on the field as much as possible?" So why would you then have a strategy of letting the other team dink and dunk all the way down the field,
just hold
the ball for so long, when I would much rather have aggressive defense, go after them. Okay, big play, all right, fine. But our offense has a back now, and let's do something with it. High risk, high reward. I feel like Jim Johnson back in the early 2000s was like that.
But you see, when was the last time the Eagles had a defensive coach with a defensive mindset like that?
Jim Schwartz had some
a
of
little
that.
bit of
he
it.
was like a hybrid. He did go after them, but he also did have the sticks defense that got criticized
which wanted
a lot.
people to pull their hair out and just be like, why are our corners 8 yards back? Why are our corners 7 yards back? It was watching a terrible, terrible movie. And I feel like what compounded it was watching January when they went down to Tampa, and you knew they didn't have a chance. The city's vibe in January was like, yo, this is over. They got destroyed. But then to see it replay out like that on Sunday, you were kind of like, yo, is this real?
Right.
Like, just that it. To me, they got to do a better job. Can they adjust on the defense with it being week 4? Because I'm not gonna write anybody off on week 4, and I know they're gonna say, yo, you're crazy. The writing's on the walls. Sirianni's lost the locker room, because you heard all of that this week. You know.
Yeah. No, the big change that they can make is putting Cooper DeJean in at slot.
We talked about that last week, like 3 weeks ago.
You needed a big body that can tackle, and what happened on the first or second drive? Missed tackle by Vontae Maddox and the touchdown. You know.
Yeah.
So at least throw DeJean out there and see what he can do.
He fails, and you rip the Band-Aid off. And
he's not going to have people just like running into him like he did with the punt return.
Yo. Yeah, we can. I want somebody to send me their most ridiculous play from the Eagles game. Like, send me a comment of what was your most frustrating play on Sunday.
There's so many to pick from.
So,
jeez.
Can we switch to the offensive side of the ball? How do we feel about Jalen? Jalen's performance to me was super disappointing. And we referenced the turnover machine thing, which I hate doing. But I looked at the numbers. You looked at the numbers. In the last, since like mid-23, he leads the league in the NFL. I think Josh Allen has more, or like Trevor Lawrence, I think, has more as well. Like, that's unacceptable. And you can't keep giving us, the standards. You know, what the main thing is the main thing. Is the main thing, what's the main thing, Wayne?
Turnovers.
Oh, all right. Okay, all right. All right. Jalen, we're not talking smack.
Yeah.
just a little bit. But stop turning the ball over, man.
We referenced Carson Wentz last week, which you didn't want me to do.
Jeez.
And then he goes and does exactly what Carson used to do. Carson used to sit in the pocket, watch a guy fly by him, and then pretend he didn't exist anymore.
He disappeared.
He disappeared. He doesn't exist.
My pocket awareness.
Yeah. Jalen did that exact thing on Sunday, where he thought the guy was gone and forever, and he came back and stripped him.
But the coach defended him on that play, and I know you heard that in the post game. The coach was like, "Yo, him getting stripped in that moment was not his fault." And that, to me, is that real? Is that the coach just being like, "I got to take one for my team"? Like, what is that?
Yeah,
you see, you don't even have
it. It's the coach trying to take one for the team, but
that's
he's so inconsistent with that too. Sometimes he'll throw people under the bus. Sometimes he'll realize it and take some responsibility, even though it's completely obvious that it's not. That it's the opposite of what he's saying. So
I hear you. I hear you.
I've grown very tired of Sirianni's explanations, right? I barely even watch them.
Them
anymore.
Are we at the Andy Reid throat clears and that's my responsibility yet?
I mean, he's trying to.
Okay.
Exactly what we just said. He's trying to take responsibility. But it's Jalen not really being comfortable with his receivers. He doesn't have a safety blanket of Devontae out there. He doesn't have
true. I heard that excuse.
The slant machine in A.J. Brown. I'm not calling him just a slant machine.
No.
He does runs obviously. All the routes. He's incredible, but when they need a few yards or need a first down, they throw the slant to A.J., and that's his safety blanket.
Dotson's not getting him anything. Goddard is so up and down, and we spoke about Goddard's inconsistency, man, and it's crazy at that size and that height.
Yep.
It's like, how do you not find that zone to sit down in where Jalen can be right in front of you?
Just do what
Travis Kelce does. I
bet Jason could probably do it too. He could probably find that soft part of the zone too. But yeah, he just I don't know. And he had a couple drops on Sunday. That was disappointing.
He did.
The first drive for the Eagles after they went down 7-0. And Saquon got loose behind the defense.
And they showed that play.
Jalen's running to his right with nobody around him. Could have easily just stopped and thrown.
They showed that play.
He keeps running and tries to throw it on the run, and it goes 5 yards out of bounds.
Out of bounds. So
that could have been a 70-yard touchdown.
It might have
changed the game.
It might have changed the momentum of the game. Yeah. Even though the defense was missing tackles and just playing terribly, that could have changed the momentum of the game.
7-7 then, and the Tampa's not feeling like, we're just going to steamroll these guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. You never know how it would have gone if he had just had the awareness to stop and try to throw instead of trying to throw on the run.
Frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
I would sum up Sunday into embarrassing, frustrating, and just the birds lay an egg. And we talked about that. What was going to be the vibe if at 2-2? Is it burn the city down, or is it like, because think about how many teams right now in the NFL are 2-2.
Right.
And I listen to a lot of sports talk radio. I know you listen to enough of it. Do you hear that negativity like we hear in Philadelphia?
You're always going to hear that, though. I feel like it's one or of each extreme. You know, it's either this is the best team ever, we're going to the Super Bowl, or fire the coach. There's not a whole lot of nuance on sports talk radio.
No in between.
So, yeah. But we said last week, when you asked me that question last week about being 2-2, how would we feel? I said it was going to depend on how the game went.
How the game went. You did
and
state
the game
that.
went horribly.
The game dictated.
It didn't look like they were ready to play. It looked like they were just, deer in the headlights. And, yeah, I know that the conditions were tough. It was 105 degrees.
Oh, we're not going to – no excuses about the weather. It's hot everywhere.
I get that.
It's hot everywhere.
But not at the end of September.
It's
not 105 degrees everywhere.
I hear you. You're
and most places that are hot like that have domes.
True.
But, yeah, and Tampa obviously had to play in it too, but they're used to the tropical weather being down there a little bit more.
I heard that excuse, and I wanted to pull my ears off when I heard that. But I understand what you're saying.
I'm not giving them that excuse for the whole game. I just feel
absolutely not.
Yes, there were tough conditions, but they are professional athletes being paid a lot of money to be in shape and to be able to handle it.
Maybe they were worried about their Twitter accounts and sending messages about
Devin White certainly was.
Maybe they were. I mean, my next question we can transition into, if you don't mind. Can Sirianni fix what is the disconnect? Because there's a disconnect in the locker room.
Does he have any idea how, though?
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. So then what do we see moving forward? Is this, at the start of the season, my number's always 10. My number's 10. The NFC East is either 10 or 11 wins, unless somebody's really good and they win 13 or 14 games. So what do you see? Is this 10 wins? Is this 9 wins?
Well, the thing I sent you today was strength of schedule for the rest of the year.
Right, yes.
Where are the Eagles ranked in strength of schedule? 32nd. So
okay.
they have the easiest schedule the rest of the way.
Okay.
Out of all the entire NFL.
So
if they can't get to 10 wins with the easiest schedule,
this is unacceptable.
Sirianni's
This is
out.
bad.
I mean,
this is bad. Then
he's gone.
I got you.
There's no way Jeffrey Lurie is going to take that. I mean, he does not like being embarrassed, and this is he was embarrassed down the stretch last year.
No, from the San Fran game on, which we reference back to, and a lot of people say that's when the Eagles season was over.
Right.
But, Sirianni kept putting out in the air, we got this. The main thing's the main thing. We got each other. Yeah. But you didn't see any of that. And a point that I heard referenced this week is there's, Lane Johnson and BG are the two actually, head guys that are still Slay you can put in there, but I feel like Slay is in his own world. And he's at the end. Now, I don't want to say he's at the end of his career, but he's at the point in his career where he's like, yo, I'm getting paid. I can perform when I need to perform, because he put out his resume after the game on Sunday. What is the reason for that? We know what you did, but have you been doing this at a high level lately? You know? So
no, it doesn't seem like there's any leadership. I mean, obviously BG and Lane, but Lane's been down, and
correct.
BG's on the end of his career. Everybody knows he's retiring, so maybe they don't take him as seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Fletcher Cox is gone. Jason Kelsey's gone.
The whole locker room.
So you don't have those guys. That's who Sirianni relied on to be the leaders in the locker room, and they're not there anymore. And it just feels like it's all kind of falling apart.
It does.
And I don't want to really believe that. Obviously, I
not on October 3rd. We don't. Not on October 3rd. We don't. So,
but it just feels like that's where it's going. I mean, it's one game. They had a great game against the Saints. Defensively, offense they showed up when they needed to. They were pretty subpar, though, the rest of the game. So I don't want to react too hard, but it just – you can tell when the pressure ramps up, you see where the cracks are, and it just feels like you're seeing it now.
You're seeing a bad movie over again.
Yeah.
You know, the defensive line, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter were no-shows. You know, like that, you can't have that. You can't have that.
Right.
So
Jalen Carter was great
against the Saints.
He's great against the Saints, and then he had a couple really good reps in the early part of the Tampa game. But then you could tell he gassed out so fast,
and it was over.
And then he had cramps later, and he just left the game, and never came back.
And never came back. No.
So those guys were not ready to play. They were not in shape. I don't know if they ever will be. So we'll see about that. But
what do we think? What do we play? Cleveland in 10 days or 12 days?
Yeah, it could be a get right game.
Okay. Does Cleveland, if they come out on Sunday against the Cleveland in 2 weeks, or and no points in the first half, is that the unhinged moment?
People are gonna start to lose it. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna say they're gonna get right first quarter against the Browns, and we'll be positive. But
AJ and Devontae should be back at that point. Lane Johnson will probably be back. I mean, that was the thing about the bye. You sat those guys preventatively because you knew you had the bye after this game. And it was better just to let them rest some more. But, having them back should go a lot better.
I'm gonna believe that it's gonna be okay, because it's week 4, and like I said, October 3rd is too early for anybody's season to be over, even as dysfunctional as we feel the Eagles are in a soap opera as they are. Do we want to? Is that?
I think we've cleansed enough.
Can we?
Got it all out.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the Birds. We got some positive things to talk about.
Yes.
Something positive. The Phillies are in the playoffs. They start baseball. When do they start baseball? When?
Saturday.
All right. And we did agree. No, we don't know their opponent yet. It's either going to be the Mets or the Brewers. What's the vibe in the city on either team? The
vibe in the city seems like they're scared of the Mets.
Scared of the Mets? Ain't nobody scared of the Mets.
I think they're just scared of New York.
For real?
I think there's that what happened with the Sixers? You're just feeling like, oh gosh, that's going to happen again.
Yikes.
The Mets are going to come down, and there's going to be all these Mets fans, and they're going to take over the ballpark.
Selling them tickets though to get into the
Nobody
bank?
should be.
But if you selling tickets for Mets fans to get into the bank, you need to you need to go away.
Especially the OMG guy. If anybody sells that guy a ticket,
we gonna break the sign.
We do not want the OMG sign.
We're gonna break the sign, yo. Get that sign out of here.
The sign's not making it out of
we got a new sign. I'm joking.
It did. Yes. If anybody's seen the movie Cocktail with Tom Cruise, you'll recognize the sign.
So, but no, I feel like the Mets I'm not really worried about. It's a division matchup. It's a close matchup, so the games probably would be a lot closer. But to me, the Mets have played incredible baseball, and I don't like to say that, but you got to acknowledge when something is what it is, and to get to this position. But the Mets have taxed, I feel, their entire team to get. They're in an elimination game right now, and it's nothing. Are they going to show up on Saturday and bash the Phillies? I'm gonna knock on wood and say no, but
that's where I was telling you earlier. I think that having Wheeler on the hill for the first, it just calms everybody. He's such a calming presence, just like Doc was. You have your ace on the hill. He's gonna be strong, and it'll probably cover up the first few innings when they might not hit because they haven't played in a week.
And they haven't played in about 5 or 6 days. So
they've been doing the inter squad games and those kinds of things.
That's not the same though. And I think we talked about this because we were having a conversation. What do you feel is going to happen on Saturday?
Right. Are
they come out and hit the ball? Are they going to bash the ball over the fence? Are they going to be patient? What Phillies?
I don't think any of those things.
Damn.
Not for the first. I just feel like it's going to
take. So we in trouble then?
No, I'm not in trouble. I just feel like it's going to take one time through the lineup for them to really open up and be able to hit. But maybe not. Maybe they jump all over them.
I'm going to take a Schwarber first inning home run.
I would love that.
I'm not
a
Schwarber
leadoff home run. Oh man, that would be incredible.
That's what I'm going to take.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like I said, I think Wheeler being there, he'll go a few strong innings to start, and they'll they'll figure it out.
And what's it, a 4:00 start?
4:00 start.
Oh,
both
man,
games.
they're gonna be tuned up.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna start drinking at 1 a.m.
Yeah, they will.
If you ever been to that complex and we talked about it, man, whew. Yeah. I went down there last Saturday. I had a good time. I've never gotten off of that exit with no traffic on the left or the right, and I felt like I could skip down the street. And if you've been to that complex, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
So,
yeah,
it's a zoo down there.
Yeah,
and I'm putting that nicely.
I saw somebody put out a tweet or a poster about why don't we bring back the A's? We'll put them here. Like they had a map of the sports
complex down there.
Said put the A's here.
Across
like build a stadium for the
street.
A's.
Oh wow!
Have the WNBA team be here. And they're building when they wanted the Sixers arena. Like, let's forget about all this Chinatown controversy and
that's causing madness in the city.
And let's just have all the stadiums down there. Just build stadiums for everybody.
I mean, I would sign up for it because it's an experience to go down there and be able to go from place to place to place and not have to get back in your car. You know, if you love sports, which I do, so
just a little, yeah.
But we're not going to talk about that. So, but back to the Phillies, man. Game 1, like you said, Wayne, I think that Wheeler takes care of business and calms everyone down. I'm confident in Nola, but there's going to be that inning. There's always that Nola inning. And does he get past that, what?
Yeah.
Am I
It's
wrong?
usually the Rav 4th inning.
Yo, shut up. Am I wrong, though? I don't think I'm wrong. If he can get past that Nola inning and not give up a 4 spot, not give up a 3 spot, just something that's manageable that they can still feel like they're in the game. Because I feel like this team, like if they get down, man, it's like a domino effect of just like everybody starts to go down a level. And there should be 2 dudes or at least 3 people in that lineup that no matter what, they can pick each other up. From what I've seen, from really good baseball teams.
In 2022, they were great at that.
Right.
Picking, like every time they gave up a lead, you felt like they were going to get it back.
They were going to come back in the game.
And they did almost every time.
So
until they got to the World Series. And then last year wasn't as much, but they still, they had the great series against the Braves. They did it, and they came back. And, so if they end up playing the Brewers have a fantastic bullpen, and that's their biggest strength.
Yeah.
Is that when they get a lead, they keep it.
They keep the lead.
You don't come back against the Brewers very often.
So,
but they don't do anything else particularly great. So if you can get up early on them, it really takes their power
They
away.
kind of hit just enough, whether it's a big home run or a big 3-run inning or a 3-run inning. They hit just enough. They have just enough of a bullpen, which can keep you off balance. So out of the 2 teams, I would say I'm not afraid of either team, but I feel like the Philadelphia region is fearing that Mets lineup over that Brewers game. And tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, there's not enough to hate about the Brewers.
I got you.
So it wouldn't have as much juice as the Mets series.
No, that's true. That's true.
But
so
we'll find out later tonight, and
we'll keep you posted. We'll probably definitely have some content up on the reactions from the game. Yep. Send us some questions, send us a comment. Tell us what you think. Do you think the Phillies are going to bash? You think they're not? Like, let us know how you feel.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. It's I'm glad that the Eagles are on a bye, because then the Phillies get all the attention.
They do.
This weekend. There's no Eagles game to worry about. You just watch the Phils at 4:00 both days, and
now
get excited.
If the Phillies lose on Saturday,
oh gosh,
is that the unhinged before the unhinged?
Yeah, if they lose,
and I'm not. Yo, look, man, I want them to win. I want them to win.
We're not trying to be Negadelphians.
No,
here,
I want them to win. I picked them to win the World Series.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm gonna still stand on that. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But do we get the unhinged on Saturday Saturday evening?
A game 1 loss would be pretty catastrophic, I think, for the city's mentality
or their mindset because of where they're at after the Eagles lost.
And you're just counting on Wheeler being a win.
Right. Okay.
You're counting on game 1 being a win.
Then let us know how you feel about that, please. Up, down, left, right. Just let us know.
Up, down, left, right.
BABA.
Triangle.
Select, start.
I don't even know.
You know the code.
I used to.
It's Contra.
The sports game Contra.
No. Yo, get out of here. That's funny. That's funny. So what did we transition to?
All right, we have a new segment.
Ooh, we do. What's the new segment called?
Send us your thoughts on what's happening in Philly sports. It's time for Mic Drop.
This segment is presented by Height Hype. Are you ready to elevate your game? Their Height Track posters are designed to measure your growth side by side with your favorite college athletes, making them perfect for young athletes aiming for the next level. Join the Height Hype community today and start your journey to greatness at heighthype.com.
Dane Wayne, thanks for taking my question. All right, I was wondering what your starting pitching schedule would be in the upcoming series for the Phillies. And we, of course, all know Wheeler's going to be slotted for Game 1. And almost immediately, are we going to pick Nola for Game 2, possibly? So I'd like to know what you guys think on that. And as for Game 3, are we using Super Suarez out of the bullpen during the series and starting Smooth Sanchez for Game 3? Let me know what you guys think. It's Halil from Malvern. Out.
All right, Halil. Thank you for the question regarding the Phillies pitching matchup in the playoffs. So I agree with you. Wheeler's going to be starting number 1. Definitely Nola number 2. And I think Suarez out of the bullpen, they might switch it up and put Sanchez in at number 3 because Suarez's back might not still be right because we saw how he pitched down the stretch. That's how I feel.
First time, long time. I'm wondering if you guys think that Sanchez should start Game 2 over Nola, considering the home road splits.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about Game 2.
Okay.
Sanchez has his home splits are much better as far as versus being away. His ERA is much lower. He's much more of a ground ball pitcher at home. Even though he's a ground ball pitcher overall, it's just he gets more outs ground ball at home. So I could see Topper throwing him second in Game 2, but Topper also doesn't like changing things up a whole lot. He's a guy that kind of sticks to what he does.
He's like, I like this sandwich.
I could totally see him going with Nola Game 2 and then throwing Sanchez in Game 3. But we will see. I'm not even sure who would pitch from the Brewers and Mets, so I don't really know what the matchups will be on that side. I think they're really just trying to do what they can to make it to the next round.
Make it to Saturday is what they're trying to do.
You're not going to play Saturday if you don't win tonight.
So yeah, that's accurate.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. Dane Wayne, this is Shane from Bucksco. Couple questions for you. First one, who's going to round out this playoff roster for the Phils? Is Cody Clemens going to make the team? Does somebody surprise us? What do you guys think? Next, Penn State. By 100? By 50? What are we going to see on Saturday? Thanks, guys.
So who's going to round out the Phillies lineup? I could see Clemens getting a shot to establish himself on a playoff roster. That's how I feel because his body of work this season hasn't been terrible. It's been serviceable in spots that he's needed to hit the ball. So that's how I feel about that. And like I said, Penn State by 25 for informational purposes.
Informational purposes only. So you got between Cody Clemens, Wes Wilson, Cal Stevenson. I think Cody Clemens is going to get one of the roster spots.
A chance.
He's just he comes up clutch. He's a utility man. He can play everywhere. Obviously, has the family lineage going for him.
Yes.
But yeah, he just seems like a scrappy guy that's going to get a hit when he needs to. So I think he'll definitely be.
I think we both agree that he'll get a chance to have a playoff opportunity is what I feel is going to happen.
All right.
So, but.
Thanks for the calls.
Absolutely, we love the calls.
Send some messages to us, voice messages.
We'll play them. We absolutely love that you're listening and you're out there and you're looking for some feedback from us. So we appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Don't be like this guy. It's time to call out our most valuable hater of the week.
This segment is brought to you by Jambuck Apparel Company. They believe that looking good should never mean sacrificing comfort. Their collection features fits designed specifically for the modern man. Whether you're lounging at home, hitting the gym, or heading out for a casual night, their versatile pieces have got you covered. Visit jambuckapparel.com to inquire about their new arrivals.
Oh, all right, you know what? I got one this week, guys, and I heard this on 2 radio stations. I'm not going to say the radio stations that I heard it on. This person, and I, if you're out there in Philadelphia, I know you are, please call me, text me, leave a message on one of our social medias. You asked for them to start Kenny Pickett. I want to know what's in Kenny Pickett's body of work that made you say, all right, I just paid Jalen Hurts $250 million, but Kenny Pickett, double gloves, I'm going to start him over Jalen Hurts. All right. Let me see. When Russell Wilson got traded to Pittsburgh, did Kenny Pickett ask for a trade?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Please, leave me a message. I know you in the Philadelphia area. Start Kenny Pickett. Come on. That's hater.
Kenny Pickett would be starting right now for Pittsburgh had he not asked for the trade.
Okay, so he didn't even want to try to start to fight for his job then.
He didn't want to fight Russell Wilson.
No. It's like, yeah, but no.
Yeah. His mentality,
no.
his
right.
athleticism. I mean, no part of Kenny Pickett makes me want him on the field.
If you out there, please tell one of your friends, some of your buddies, leave us a comment. I want to talk to you. We'd like that. I'd like to have a conversation with you, and have a good week.
I mean, the guy must not have watched the preseason at all because
he was standing on that hill, Wayne.
Man.
He was like, "Yo, I think if the Eagles switch to Kenny Pickett," and both the radio stations was like, "All right, we get it. It's the day after.
Yeah.
We know you're frustrated." Like, no one does anybody else in Philadelphia that is watching us or have seen this, do you feel like that? And if you do, I'd like to have a conversation. Okay?
All right. Civil debate. Healthy debate.
On why Kenny Pickett should get the start. If Kenny Pickett gets the start, Sirianni's being fired tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah. I mean, Tanner McKee outplayed him in the preseason.
Wayne, you don't got to tell me, man.
Now, if they had traded for Justin Fields, like a lot of people wanted, there'd be a little bit more of like, hey, maybe you can try.
I can see that comparison.
But they wanted that extra year of control with Kenny Pickett. Like, that means anything right now. I mean, yeah.
No. Nope.
That's the only thing that Jalen has going for him is that his backup is so inept that there's only one guy in Philly actually calling for him to
he called multiple places. I'm telling you, call us. I want to talk. We got to talk. We got to talk this out. All right. It's what, therapy? we're doing therapy. All right?
Yes.
We're gonna talk through this.
Yep.
So.
All right.
But so.
All right.
What's next on the table, Wayne?
Let's go to the podium.
Drafting the best of the best. Here's this week's podium.
This segment is presented by Mountney. Looking to elevate your e-commerce business? Discover Mountney.com, your premier partner in fulfillment solutions in 3PL services. With our strategic location in DuBois, Pennsylvania, we offer fast, reliable service as 37% of the U.S. is within 500 miles. Our seamless integration of print-on-demand and third-party logistics ensures your products are managed and delivered with precision. Trust Mountney to handle the details so you can focus on growing your brand. Visit Mountney.com today and experience fulfillment without limits.
What are we doing this week?
We're doing baseball movies.
Oh, all right. Baseball movies I can do.
Yes.
I don't have a coin to flip. I think I went last. No, you won.
Yeah, you can take it this time.
Yeah, okay.
You can have the first pick.
All right. So first baseball movie, Major League.
Oh, okay.
I know everybody's seen Major League. And, I can't say everybody, but I think I grew up watching Major League multiple times. Wild Thing.
I have a Wild Thing Rick Vaughn jersey. Yes. I was going to break it out at some point this year.
Nah, we're not bringing that one out yet. Now, the Phillies win the World Series, we'll break out the Wild Thing.
Break out a Cleveland Wild Thing jersey when the Phillies win the World Series.
I know, right? We
get
stoned.
Shirt. All right. I'll wear it to the parade.
That's
what
enough.
Are you doing here?
That's enough. Who brought this dude over? Yo, get him out of here. Scram.
I'll cut my hair just like Wild Thing.
Yo, you're funny.
Fantastic. All right. Pick number 1 for me. All right. One of my favorite movies, not even a baseball movie, and rest in peace, James Earl Jones. Field of Dreams.
All right.
Love that movie.
That is
Kevin Costner.
All-time classic.
Yep. Ray Liotta playing Shoeless Joe Jackson. Well, fantastic movie. There's some interesting things where you're kind of in disbelief. Some of the stuff that you're just like, okay, you got to suspend that disbelief just a little bit for this movie.
I got you.
But it's what a great movie and great performance by James. It's probably one of my favorite.
No, I agree.
When he passed away a few weeks ago,
I can absolutely agree with that one. That's a solid movie. Let me think. My second choice, Bull Durham.
That's a great one.
Bull Durham is I watched it a million times. I love sports. I love sports movies. Watched Bull Durham 1,000 times, and I think it's a right up there baseball movie in my eyes.
All right. I don't have much to say because I've only seen it once or twice.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a little bit before my time.
1988.
Yeah.
1988.
I was 3.
I'm showing my age.
Yeah. But yeah. All right. A couple different ways I can go here.
I'm listening.
But I think I'm gonna go The Sandlot.
All right.
I love that movie.
All right. No
Just
doubt.
Just a feeling of like summer back in the day.
Yeah.
The 4th of July scene, just
classic.
Just even though I wasn't born or lived through that time, it still felt like a simpler time, even when you and I were growing up.
No internet.
No internet.
No, not even a flip phone.
Nope. You go out.
Or the internet that you had went bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
Sorry. Don't make that sound. Bing, bing,
Do
bing. Don't make that sound, Dane. Don't make that sound.
That was until like the
I know, right?
90s.
I did, and whew, I had internet like that until like 2004. Let me stop. My parents was like, you better use that dial-up, boy. You better use that dial-up. My friends had that high speed, 56K.
No, 56K wasn't high speed. Jeez. Oh my God.
What's your neck? Is it my turn?
No.
It's
I was still talking about the
I
Sandlot.
know, my fault.
All right. Now we went into modem sounds.
My fault.
Jeez.
Bing, bing, bing. Yo, knock it off. That's enough.
Oh man. But yeah, we lived in a neighborhood. When I was 5 or 6, we lived in a neighborhood that you could just go out and play with all the kids in the neighborhood, and your mom didn't have to have you right there and then.
No,
you're
the lights came on.
Yeah.
And you knew, all right,
time to go home.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Simpler times. So let's see. My third choice. All right, I really like this, and it's not a good baseball movie, but it's something that I grew up watching. Rookie of the Year
good one.
I want to say that was 92, 91.
Somewhere in there.
I could be wrong about that. If I'm wrong about that, just leave me a comment. But Rookie of the Year is another one of my favorite baseball movies that I watched growing up.
All right. And I'm gonna go with one that came out around the same time.
Okay.
Little Big League. I loved that movie. I watched it just like as a however old I was, just like you wished you could manage a major league team, be that kid that was managing the team. That was a lot of fun.
Do we have any honorable mentions?
The Natural is a great movie.
No, we didn't name The Natural. I didn't use The Natural. Okay.
When he hits the cover off the ball, pick me out a winner, Bobby.
Was Moneyball a good one?
Yeah, I like that movie. I read the book too. I liked
the
that
analytics side of like how baseball actually works. If you want to know how baseball actually works, you watch that movie. It'll literally tell you everything.
The trade deadline scene.
Yeah.
Talking to all the GMs. I love that part.
No, I agree.
You wish you were like watching, or you wish you could be a fly on the wall with Howie Roseman doing his wheeling and dealing.
Hearing all the
I love after the draft, after the NFL draft, I love when the teams put out those phone calls that you're calling different GMs and
finding out what's on the table, what can you get for this
trades.
guy. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I do love that side of it. It's like watching like a real life, I guess, reality TV show.
Yeah,
is kind of what it is, but it's real
just
life.
stuff you don't get access to.
Is correct. Mm-hmm. So how do we? Is that it for this week, guys? We got a new sign. Let us know how you feel about our new sign. Please leave us a like. Send us a comment. Is there anything else on the table this week that we want to touch on, Wayne? Go Birds, man. Don't be negative, people. Yeah. Don't be negative. It's week 4. Yes, we know that Sirianni can't. We feel that Sirianni can't coach and he's lost the team. We feel that way a little bit too. But it's week 4, man. Yeah. Let's be a little bit positive. And don't become unhinged if the Phillies lose on Saturday. All right? They're going to find a way. Do you want to leave them with anything, Wayne? Or do we have anything else to touch on this evening?
Nope.
Bing, bing, bing.
We're doing modem noises again.
I'm sorry, guys. All right. Man. Check us out next week. We're going to have some content for you this weekend. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the love. And everybody have a great evening, man.
All right.